Have you ever felt like your brain is stuck? Like no matter how hard you try, you just can't get better at something? We've all been there, struggling with a subject, failing at a skill, feeling like we've hit a wall. But what if the real problem isn't your ability? It's how you think about your ability. Today on Mind Hackers, we're breaking down the science behind a learner mindset, what it is, what your brain actually does when you learn, and how you can start building this mindset to learn faster, adapt better, and feel more capable every day. Before we jump into the neuroscience, let's get clear on the concept. A learner mindset, also known as a growth mindset, comes from the work of psychologist Carol Dweck. It's the belief that your abilities aren't fixed. They can be developed through effort, strategy, and support. In contrast, a fixed mindset believes I'm either smart or I'm not. If I fail, it means I'm not capable. Effort means I'm not talented. But the learner mindset reframes all that. Abilities can be grown. Struggle is a part of the process. Mistakes help me improve. Imagine two students, they both fail a test. One says, I'm terrible at this. The other says, what can I learn from this? That single mindset difference predicts who improves and who gives up. And this applies way beyond the classroom. Whether you're learning to code, switching careers, launching a project, or improving your mental health, your mindset determines how you approach challenge, failure, and feedback. So what does the brain science say about this? Well, welcome to the science of neuroplasticity. Your brain's ability to rewire itself through effort and experience. Here's how your brain actually responds during learning moments. When you embrace a challenge, facing something difficult, your brain releases dopamine, not just when you succeed, but during the effort. It's your brain's way of saying, yes, keep going. People with a learner mindset experience more motivation because they see challenge as growth, not threat. When you make a mistake, mistakes activate the anterior cingulate cortex, the brain's error detection system. If you reflect on that mistake, instead of avoiding it, your brain creates new pathways. If you ignore the mistake, the brain stays stuck. Mistakes reviewed properly literally change your brain. When you try a new strategy, switching methods like changing study habits or seeking help engages your prefrontal cortex, boosting your adaptability. Each new approach builds mental flexibility, which is key to lifelong learning. When you receive feedback, feedback activates different parts of the brain depending on your mindset. A fixed mindset activates emotional alarm, and then you shut down. But a learner mindset activates logic centers, and your learning is boosted. It's the same feedback, different mindset, and a different brain response. So yes, your mindset isn't just mental, it's neurological. But belief alone isn't enough. You have to live it. So let's look at how. Let's talk about how your mindset actually shows up, not in theory, but in those tiny moments when you're under pressure, frustrated, or tempted to quit. When your mind feels overwhelmed, most people default to judgment. I should have known this by now. Why is this still hard for me? I'm not cut out for this. But there's a different way to approach those moments. One that doesn't shut you down, but opens you up. It's called the learner mindset. And once you get it, you'll start seeing challenge not as something to escape, but as something to learn from. Here's what that actually looks like in real life. You're handed a task that feels too big, something unfamiliar. Maybe it's public speaking. Maybe it's learning a new system at work. Maybe it's setting a boundary. Your old reaction, this is too hard. I'm out. But the learner mindset, this is hard, which probably means I'm growing in a way I haven't before. So you stop expecting ease and start respecting the process. When you make a mistake, you say the wrong thing, you miss a deadline, you forget something important, you feel embarrassed, exposed. The old reaction, I messed up, I'm not good enough. The learner mindset, what can I take from this? What part of this is here to teach me? Suddenly your mistakes become maps, not verdicts. And when you get feedback, someone gives you a note, and it stings. Maybe it feels like they're criticizing your best effort. The old reaction, they think I suck. But the learner mindset, this might be uncomfortable, but it is there, a piece of wisdom for me. Is there something I can use from that feedback? It's here to help me. You don't have to agree with everything, but you have to stay open, and that keeps you growing. When you compare yourself, let's say you're scrolling past someone else's profile and they're doing exactly what you want to do, and they're doing it even better. How does that make you feel? You feel left behind? Your old reaction, I'll never catch up. But the learner mindset, what can I observe from them that might help me get better? Now, comparison becomes information, not intimidation. That's an important one. Let's ground this in a real example. Imagine someone trying to learn video editing. They open the software, stare at all the buttons, and panic. Now, a fixed mindset, your old response would be, this is too much. I'll never get it. And they quit. But a learner mindset's response would be, okay, I'll start with the timeline, then audio. I'll break it into pieces. You see, they take breaks. They make mistakes. And they ask questions. And 2 months later, they're editing with confidence. Mindset isn't something you have or don't have. It's a practice, a decision you make in the moment, especially when it's hard. And the more you choose growth over shame, curiosity over avoidance, and progress over perfection, the more resilient you become. Now let's build a system that helps you live in that mindset daily. Okay, so now you understand the power of a learner mindset. But how do you actually make it part of your daily life? Well, it starts with awareness, and then action, and then reflection. This is your rhythm for real growth. No fluff, no overwhelm. Let's just walk through it together. You need to look back with compassion. So think about your last week. Really think about it. Don't analyze it like a failure report. Reflect on it like a coach. Where were the tough spots? When did you feel stuck or tense? When did frustration get the best of you? When did you walk away from something and think, I could have handled that better? Now, with those moments in mind, ask yourself, what was happening in that moment? What thoughts came up? And how did I react? This will give you a clear window into your default patterns, the mental scripts you run on autopilot. And here's the good news. Once you can name them, you can start shifting them. You have to choose your micro shift. This is where the real change begins, not by overhauling everything, but by choosing one new response to practice this week. Maybe you choose to reframe challenge as growth. When something feels hard, instead of shrinking, you remind yourself, this means I'm leveling up. Maybe you shift how you view mistakes. When you slip, you pause and ask, what can I learn here? Maybe you change how you hear feedback. Instead of hearing it as judgment, you start seeing it as fuel, raw material for your improvement. Or maybe you give yourself permission to try a new approach. If the old way isn't working, it's not failure, it's just data. And we learn from that. So try something different. Your move this week. Pick one of those shifts. Just one. Use it as your lens. When things get tense, when you catch yourself spiraling, come back to that lens. Repeat it, practice it, and reflect on how it felt. This is how you retrain your brain to respond with growth instead of shutdown. Small shifts, repeated often. That's how your mindset becomes your superpower. Reflection turns into insight. I want you to reflect. Here are your deep dive prompts. Take time with these now. Number 1, what did I try this week that changed me? Acknowledge the effort. You're training courage. Number 2, how did I respond to difficulty when it showed up? I want you to notice your instincts. Were you proud of your reaction? Number 3, where did my old mindset show up again? Because it will. You need to spot the old pattern because that's going to be a sign of progress. Now you're identifying, you're spotting the old pattern. And what learner mindset shift did I apply? Did you reframe a thought, try a strategy, or ask for help? And what result did I notice? Even if it's a small result, any improvement counts. It's the momentum that matters more than the perfection. And what surprised me about how I felt during or after? Did you feel more capable, less stressed, more motivated? And what will I adjust or try next time? This turns reflection into evolution. So ask yourself, am I proud of how I showed up this week? If yes, hey, celebrate it. If not, you just found your next growth point. Either way, you're winning because everything is data. So let's pull this together. You've learned how to be a learner mindset, and you learned that a learner mindset works. You've seen the science, you've seen the behavior, and you've been given a plan. Now here's your next move this week. Pick one area where you've been avoiding growth. Apply a learner shift. Track what happens. Then come back and comment. What did you notice? As usual, if this video helped you reframe how you see learning, give it a like. Subscribe to Mind Hackers. Share this with someone who's stuck right now, because mindset is the skill and tool that shapes every other skill. Thanks for watching. Keep growing, keep learning, and remember, your brain isn't the limit, it's the starting point.